It's tricky without a countdown clock, because the secret would be to go live with a countdown clock. Otherwise, you just have to trust when it says you're live. And I might be off by a second, maybe two. I could look dumb. Hey, everybody, welcome in to another episode of Trust the Tape, where it's clear we need hats. And Bryan, I'm going to teach you something about marketing, because I've had people who are like, hey, I want you to buy this and I want you to buy that. You're going to need to give me a Doing All Right hat for free so that I can wear it and advertise for you. That's how that works.
All right. I appreciate that. I'll send you. I got a couple. I got my Crown Global Media logo, and I got your hat, and I can get you a shirt or a hoodie, whichever you prefer.
All right. You have a hat guy? I need to hit up your hat guy.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe I need to, if we could come up with a logo for Trust the Tape.
Yeah.
I got a hat guy that can just put it on hats for us. So
okay, see, I hadn't thought about a Trust the Tape hat yet, but I do want a hat that's either blue with just a white tank, a little team tank hat, because even when it's not, because also the Mavericks are blue and white, and it looks like we might need to be tank in there. And if the Cowboys were to lose,
a little element of green in it. You got to put a little element of green in that Mavs hat, though, too.
Well, I just, I want it to be dual purpose. So whichever local team you need to lose, that it'll work for you. Probably blue with a white tank. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's no big.
You know what I think would be cool, Jeff? Just the word, just like a white hat with the black that says tank with a exclamation point.
Maybe I was going a little more subtle.
Just big stitch block letters that says tank.
Not a bad plan. Not a bad plan. Shout out to the people who are here before the show even starts. Dro Nose is here all the time. Can't trust that Texas State trooper from the A&M game, but I can damn sure trust the tape.
I like that. That's well said. Well said.
Armand's in here all the time. Appreciate all you guys. Thank you for being here. And Bryan did try to warn me that Texas A&M is pretty serious, and so I was texting him while they were getting beat pretty good by South Carolina, and then they did the college football thing where the good team eventually shows up. That's very college football.
Well, did you you're not going to read what I said to you then? You're not going to. You have it still.
I've seen this before.
I've seen this act. I go, you said, man, I guess I picked a bad day to watch Texas A&M. I said, I've seen this act before. South Carolina's going to lose this football game. Yeah. And I've seen South Carolina play a bunch. They are the darlings for giving away leads, even leads of 27 points or 28 points. They're into that.
That was outstanding. It was a great job of blowing a lead and making something where I thought I was going to be able to poke at Bryan, and it didn't work out for me. Shout out to Ike in the super chat. I'm with Bryan. Let's trade CD and give GP 88. I'll tell you what we're not doing today, y'all. I'll tell you what we're not doing today, y'all.
Come see the light. See the light.
First of all,
see the light. I had this discussion. By the way, you and I have a friend, a friend, and then a guy that knows you very well. Our friend,
so he's not my friend.
Prince Faisal. Well, Prince Faisal over in Saudi Arabia.
I consider him a friend.
Huge Cowboys fan. He watches all our content. Loves you. Absolutely loves you. And he's like, man, he goes, if you really want to draw Jeff offside, start talking about seeding.
Start talking about any of their best players and trading them and see what I do.
And I go, Your Highness, it's content. It's content. We got content. This is what we do. But no, but he's like, yeah, if you really want to get Jeff angry, it appears talking about trade CeeDee Lamb.
Look, I thought we all had the same goal here. I thought.
Oh, no. Faisal's he's on board with you.
I thought we wanted to win. No,
he won.
But now it's like, what should we trade Quennin Williams? He's really upped his trade value. He's played really well. We should probably turn around.
Yeah, we might want to think about it.
Big business. I'm not with Bryan. Let's keep CD and GP3. I will tell you this. If we just want to trust the tape to be the greatest draft podcast in the land, sure, trade all your best players, because then we just get to talk about the draft all day.
We'll do that in a couple weeks.
Yeah, the Cowboys have roped us back in. They roped me back in by beating the Raiders, and then I turn around and I'm like, all right, let's do some math here, boys. I think they need to go 6-1 to make it. I don't think you can make it if you don't get to 10-6-1. Do I think they're going to do that? I don't. Can I completely write it off? Not yet.
Not yet.
Plus, the Eagles are falling apart. So the way, because I've been saying they're falling apart for 100 years, just because their record is a fraud. It's a lie. They are not an 8-2 football team. They're more of a 6-4, 5-5 football team, but they happen to be winning at the end of these games.
Can I
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question then?
Yeah.
Eagles falling apart.
Yeah.
Do you worry about Vic Fangio and having an understanding of how to play Dak?
Yeah,
that has been
also,
consistent. That part, whether he's been Denver, Miami, Philadelphia. I know the first half of the game the other day. Well, I mean, week one, Dak was launching and everything was cool and the offense was rolling and we were all really happy. And then the second half came and it was a weather delay and everything got thrown off. But is there concern about Vic Fangio kind of understanding how to play your quarterback?
Maybe a little bit. I'll put my faith in the players that Dallas has over the coordinator that Philadelphia has. So, I think there's something there, but I expect the Cowboys to play pretty good offense. I do think part of it is going to be that the Eagles, they got a pretty good defense.
Yeah, Nakobe Dean being back is going to be different than Jahad Campbell, who started in week one.
Yeah.
You know, they still have some elements. The safety play has not been great. You get some of those guys in space. Phillips' addition looks like it is paid off for them. And in a way, if we looked at Phillips before the draft, people were talking, maybe Dallas was going to trade for this guy. He played at I thought a high level with the Dolphins. He's playing with a high level with Philadelphia.
Yeah,
and they're a different team with him rushing the passer. And then you got the two defensive tackles, which is an issue.
Yeah, and I think that's very much kind of who they are. Now, I do think there is going to come a day, because when it comes to how you build your football team, I am a big believer in two different things. One, the salary cap is real. Every dollar that you move somewhere eventually will be accounted for. And if a lot of those are all sitting in the same place when players probably won't be there anymore, that year going to hurt you. And Philly's probably got that coming in the year of our Lord 2029. Okay. So they were willing to maybe take a big old speed bump for the chance to try to win like 7 Super Bowls, which I support. But the other thing is that you can manipulate it as much as you damn well please to make a run at these things. And that's what Philadelphia does. They are very much probably the most aggressive team right now, where they're like, look, this is our window. So whatever we have a need at, we're going to go do it. And we're going to trade these picks because we think we've got the most important pieces now. And so we're going to add all the things that we can. And so, that helps their defense. And I think that they've got a good defense. This is my behind the curtain show business conversation with the people real quick. So what you got to do is you have to condense things that have nuance to them into fun catchphrases. And that's what I like to do. People did that with the running backs don't matter. And then people are like, no, of course they matter. And the answer is, of course they matter. The longer form is, Saquon Barkley's a 3.8 yard per carry guy now instead of 5.5. What happened there? And the answer to what happened there is they downgraded on the offensive line, and they've been banged up a little bit, and teams are focusing on it more. And running back is the most dependent position in football. So there's a conversation to be had about how much do you value things like first-round picks if you're not prepared to give that guy a chance to shine, right? But you condense it into running backs don't matter. The truth about the Philadelphia Eagles is that offensively, they are not good. And there are the pieces there for them to be good. Like, I don't think Jalen Hurts is terrible, but I condense his long-form scouting report into he's not good. And the long form is just that if it ain't the first read, like that sucker can catch the ball and throw it against man coverage. But if you make him process, if you make him read, if you make him think, if you make him extend plays, he struggles with that. When the Eagles are in third and must pass, they've been bad his whole career. When you put the game on him throwing, they're in a bad way. There's a reason that A.J. Brown is mad every week. And that reason is not that I'm sure he, like everybody else, is like, yeah, I'm glad that we won and not lost. But if we are pretending that the football we're playing can win us a Super Bowl, y'all are crazy. because it's not. You can't
Well,
be the 25th best offense in football or whatever and win the Super Bowl. So his whole thing is like, that's fine. We're winning the games. If this is how we play all year, we're not winning what we want to win. And so I condense all of that into Eagles are falling apart. And so that's my lesson in show business today. Catchphrases that represent much longer conversations. Eagles are falling apart. Running backs don't matter. Got it? Got it. Good. So the thing that'll be, I think, the most interesting, and it better be interesting, when the Cowboys take on the Eagles, is I asked everybody on our show this yesterday, Bryan, and I'm going to interrogate you now. Is your expectation of how the Cowboys are going to play defense closer to what they did against the Raiders, knowing it's the Raiders, or closer to who they'd been everything pre-Raiders, which was one of the worst defenses in football? Do you take the new additions and now view them as absolutely not? This is no longer a really bad defense. This is now closer to what we just watched.
I think it's closer to what we just watched. And I say that with the understanding that the secondary still has a ways to go. Just from an experience standpoint, it's going to be a different challenge for them this week dealing with these, and you talked about the Eagles offense and how it's basically a go, hitch, slant type offense. It's a challenge, and it's, they still have the ability. It'll be a challenge for them to run the football if they're down a couple of offensive linemen. It's been a challenge all year for them to run the football. Where you had some weaknesses really in the past, you're much better at defensive tackle. You're better now at linebacker inside. Hooker played better in the Raiders game, but I don't think they have a great safety involved. You got some young corners that are really promising. Carson, promising. What we saw with Revel, I know I've seen on social, you've done a lot of stuff with Revel and talking about him and what he brings. Very promising, hopeful. There's still some things like if we were 8-10 games into this thing and these guys were all playing together, we would probably see a better defense. I think they're going to challenge Philadelphia this week. I think they are. I mean, they're going to challenge. Philadelphia leads the league in 3 and outs. They're okay being 3 and outs, and they struggle to get in the red zone, but when they do, they finish. And but Dallas is going to have to. You're going to have to go after AJ Brown. You're going to have to go after Smith, and it's going to really come after these young corners. These young corners are going to have to play at a very, very high level. But the defensive tackles, if in fact the Eagles are compromised at center, they're surely compromised at right tackle. Man, they took advantage of the Raiders. We knew the Raiders were poor 5 across, but you've got to find a way to, if it's Quennin Williams, listen, you get a one-on-one matchup with Landon Dickerson. It's a struggle for him. When he could play with help, he's good. But when he's one-on-one, he gives up pressures, he gives up sacks. There's spots along this offensive line that have had their problems. And so, I think Dallas is closer to what we're going to see, what we saw with the Raiders, than we have seen before. Because I do feel like, just look at the inactive list Monday night on defense. The guys that were on that inactive list, those were guys that were playing for you during the season. Clark's gone now. I mean, there were guys that were playing snaps for you in games. Bridges, I wouldn't be surprised today. Priority 1 is to get Malik Davis active. I wouldn't be surprised if Bridges is the guy that they move on from, for the roster spot. So my hope is that these kids get battle tested. And I know people hate when I call them kids, but I'm about to be 62 years old.
They're youngsters.
They're youngsters, but they're about to. They're going to get battle tested, and they're going to play 3 games in 11 days, and against some good players. If they get through this segment if they get through this segment of games, win or lose, it could really help Dallas in the future if they get through these games and we see the promise that we believe that those guys can play with.
3 close losses would be great. Highly competitive football creeping your way towards the topic. Now, if they win 2 of these, if they can win 2 of 3, then buckle up. Buckle up. We're going for a run. Now, Brian, I'd like to stop you for about 30 to 60 seconds to thank our friends at Underdog.
Hey, Underdog.
I would like to. Football season's in full swing. Underdog, the best place to get in on all the action. I love my Underdog. You know why I love Underdog? Because it can make everything interesting for me. Because it's not just football. All you got to do is go pick your favorite player, least favorite player. I like to pick Jalen Hurts and say he's going to have less than his projected passing stats every week. And that's all you do is you make those picks. You combine a few of those bad boys. You say, I think this guy's going to go higher or lower on stats like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, and more. You get the picks right, and you could win up to 5,000 times yo cash. Okay, so I'm going to do some hating on the Eagles this weekend when I hop on the Underdog. I'll probably do some loving on the Cowboys too, try to get myself rich. And that's all you got to do. And then, Brian, the most exciting part about after you download the Underdog app and start playing that and having some fun, the best part is that your boy got a full screen disclaimer so he doesn't have to read all these words. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow, there you go.
Download the app today. Sign up with the promo code TAPE, TAPE, and you'll get $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5, when you play your first $5. Promo code's TAPE because of Trust the Tape. It's Underdog. Make picks, win money. Let's see if I know how to get this off the screen.
You know what, man? I think Underdog has got a badass logo.
Yeah,
that's a cool.
Yeah, that dog's sweet, isn't he?
That's a cool logo they got there. Congratulations. Yeah. Thank you, Underdog, for being a part of us.
Yeah, and I love anything that makes there's a lot of sporting events I won't watch because I'm just not all that interested. But boy, if I've got one of those Dallas Wings to get more points than her projected points, I'll track that box score, baby. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So have some fun. Get on that Underdog, all right?
Please do.
Please play responsibly. Crying out loud. Whatever you deposit, make sure that's in the budget. All right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then hopefully you're going to end up buying a pool with what you win, but also be responsible. Yeah.
Or double up to catch up, whatever you want to do.
I mean, whatever works for you, whatever
helps. Yeah. Whatever works.
You want to chase, go ahead and chase. Yeah. You had mentioned Revel when we were doing our show on Tuesday, and I ended up watching tape on Tuesday after we had done our show, and it was only 19 snaps. But now I'm going to have unrealistic expectations for Shavon Revel because I was super impressed with the 19 snaps that I watched. And I did have one that was my favorite. And I think it was a tight end that was lined up in the slots. I got my no, it was a wide receiver that was lined up in the slot. It might have been Tyler Lockett. It might have been the old man. And because Bryan Broaddus' favorite thing,
the crossing route
in all of sports, is a cornerback, an off coverage, and a guy runs straight across the field. Because I tell you, the field is big, and they end up with a little bit of a head start because you've got to honor whatever they're going to do. And so when you see a corner get that foot in the ground and fly across on a crossing route and close that window, make up ground and make it so that you can't throw it or make a tackle for a short gain, nothing makes Brian happier watching a draft-eligible person than the corner flying across the field and seeing Revel just foot in the ground and I'm in your pocket, baby. I was like, that's a Brian play right there. My favorite was when he was out wide. I don't remember who the wide receiver was. And they went triple move. They went with a route that I dominated. We would call it a double stop, where you run a stop route, then you take off running. It's like, oh my God,
stutter go.
So he's got the stop route covered. The guy takes off. He's in phase on that. The guy stops again, so it's a stop, go, stop, and he's in phase on all three of them. And I get scared about my tall corners and stopping and going. So I watched everything that he did in that game, and I just went, oh,
hopeful.
That was better than I expected out of the gate, and now I've got him locking A.J. Brown down for 0 catches is basically where I'm at.
Well, it's going to be a battle. I mean, he's going to get the out. This guy could be also the hybrid tight end eliminator,
which is fun.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to play Laporta in a couple weeks, but you got 3 big time tight ends that you were going to on schedule that when you talk about with the one there in Philadelphia, Goddard, and then Kelsey, in a few days. Maybe this guy, if you have some roles, I think I could see him, Bland, and Carson being out there playing.
Yeah.
Like I say, I think they're going to move on from Bridges. I think Bridges would be, if you always ask who's my 53rd guy.
Yeah.
I kind of think Bridges is the 53rd guy right now, and I think that's how you get Davis. Davis is out of the elevations, and they've got to get him on. I need to say something too, if I can, Jeff. I've been kind of talking about the thing with Blue being more about maybe not knowing from classroom to practice field to game. Smart enough. It's just the maturity factor has been a problem. Like the being a pro, where they say that like Phil Maffa is kind of the opposite of that. And so Maffa is on IR, so you would have to make a roster move. With Davis coming up, I'm not sure we're going to see Phil Maffa, So if you're the Phil Maffa fan, there's 2 roster moves left. He is an IR guy. So that's going to be up for consideration, but I don't know, with Davis getting elevated, I think that kind of puts Moff in a bad spot. But Revel, real quick, I'm still very, 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 very excited about the prospects. I know there's going to be some rough road ahead, maybe, but man, the kid is super competitive. He's super athletic, and he looks like he belongs out there playing.
Dro knows in Super Chat, he said, am I the only one that thinks that corner is a draft need? Is Malik Muhammad strictly a slot corner from Texas? Also, I like Kamari Ramsey over Downs. What I don't like is when the chat's ahead of me on draft work. Okay.
Well, Downs is a safety, and I haven't seen Muhammad. I've seen Texas play, but I haven't. I've done the 3 corners. I think that McCoy is outstanding. I think Delane from LSU is outstanding, and Terrell from Clemson is outstanding. If you're in the corner game and you want to go, in the first round, I don't know if Muhammad is a first round player, and I think I'd be a little hard pressed to play him ahead of the ones I just named. But Ramsey's the safety from USC. And I've got a list of guys to do tonight, and he's one of them. But I would be hard-pressed to say that a guy's better than Downs at that position. But I'm always like, that's the great thing about this process, that he very well could be. And we'll study that up.
Yeah, Downs is awesome. You boys got time today, so I'll catch you today. I'm going to watch 700 players today. Yeah, I could probably get 8 or 10 in, something like that.
Yeah.
Where was I going? Hold on, I'm ADHD in something right now. I had somewhere I wanted to take you, and I don't remember. Oh, here it is. It's back. Yeah, I think so. The beauty of, like, if the Cowboys can really, if they can beat the Eagles,
sure,
and they can beat the Chiefs or the Lions or whatever, and if they can go on a run, then that's awesome. That's incredible. We'll all be super engaged and energized, and we'll be optimistic about next year. Well, I guess we'll be excited about the playoffs if they can go 6-1. But if that's not the way it goes, I still think it's fun, because what becomes really important to me, because I do love the draft, is, like you say, you think they have a need at corner? Kind of, maybe. Ask me in 6-7 weeks, because we're about to get a lot of Kalen Carson and Shavon Revel. And if you have Carson playing at a good level, if you have Revel will be one of your starters unless he gets hurt, and you have Deron Bland, then the answer becomes it's not a pressing need. And if Logan Wilson continues to take snaps from Kenneth Murray, he still has more time under contract. So if you look at that, and Overshown's back and he's healthy and he looks good, then suddenly your linebacker situation switches from, oh my God, what are we going to do in the first round, to, hey, we can do this thing straight up, and we can, you know what, I don't know if Cowboy fans are going to like this. They love offensive line in the first round. And I think Terrence Steele is going to join Trayvon Diggs as a salary cap casualty. Cowboy land going to freak out if their right tackle is one of their first picks. You'll tell me in the chat when they take another offensive lineman in round 1. You gonna lose it, or are you happy?
Yeah, what you need to do though, Jeff, is like free agency needs to turn into somehow navigating the Pickens situation. It needs some house cleaning with the guys that you mentioned, and then it needs to turn into actually being aggressive and not bottom fishing,
For
and
sure.
maybe addressing what you would love to have happen. The perfect offseason was you understand the development of all the players you mentioned, so you're positive about that going in. But like my old boss Ron Wolf used to say with the Packers, if you feel good about your position, add another one to it. Feel good, add another one to it.
Well,
And so
that's the words of a man who must have had a good roster.
no, we did
Sometimes
in
you got
Green
this
Bay.
stuff
No,
that
we
you're
did, but
like,
we added. We
no.
kept adding guys. Kept adding guys, but I would love Dallas to go into this draft with the flexibility of being able to take what player is best on that board for them. We know they're going to take best available player that need. We know that that's probably going to happen, but I'd like to have the flexibility of being able to move the picks if they want to move them, and then be able to like keep the board open where they could. Offensive tackle is not out of the question. It
Right.
really isn't, and Cowboy fans would probably go absolutely bonkers. But I think you would feel better about like when before we saw what happened in the Raiders game. I think those picks were earmarked for defensive players.
Right.
And now the scenario you just ran me through. Wait a minute, we're a little better at linebacker. Whoa, we're a little bit better at corner. I think we need safety help myself. Defensive tackle looks pretty good. But yeah, have the flexibility of being able to
Bless you. Thank
to
you.
yeah, have the flexibility to be able to use those picks for players that can really make a difference regardless of the position you're playing them at.
Colbert or Colbert is in the super chat. Morning. Would you be okay with giving Pickens the same contract as Lamb? Yup. I sure would. I sure would. Now, if he keeps it up, if he goes to 1,512 tutties on the season, I don't know if the CD Lamb contract gets it done. Well, Jerry's in for some pie talk. Jerry's going to have a pie situation on his hands. Although
Yeah.
he said it. He said it. He said, yes, we can keep all these guys. He said it. So
Yeah.
don't let him walk that back on y'all. Patty's in the chat. Love the show, guys. Wanted to shout out my fellow fans of the show.
Thank you.
I hope these are real people and not some sort of bit that I'm not aware of. And so we will shout out.
Just read the words and make sure nobody's ball sacking you on this thing.
DiCenzo.
Okay.
Zeesty.
Yeah. Okay.
DiCenzo.
Okay. Everything seems fine. Yeah, seems fine. Yeah. Nobody's saying Mike Hunt, that kind of stuff.
Whoa, bro.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You got to worry about that sometimes.
The point was to not say something like that, and then you said it to not be a say thing.
Mike Hunt, a player. Mike Hunt.
Shout out to everybody that's been on this, watching us. Shout out to everybody but Brian right now. Shout out to everybody except Brian, who's trying to get us fined and thrown off the air. And we don't got time. No. We don't got time for that.
We don't have time for that.
Let me just play the hot dog or bun thing because I haven't gotten to play it today.
Now this is a hot dog bun. I think it's a hot dog too.
Jeff, what are you doing for Thanksgiving real quick?
I believe that my family is really kind and caring. And so
they're inviting you over and you have to show up with nothing in hand?
I will be working on Thanksgiving, but they will push it a day and we will do Thanksgiving on Friday. I may just swing by Wild Fork and pick up all the meats, the best meats. I was there the other day. My God.
We need to get them as a sponsor. Our buddy Sean Sharif has them as a sponsor there.
So they got
good food. They're
about to start up with DLLS, and we went out there and they fed us and they took us to the store and showed us all the things. And let me just tell you, this is for free because they're not on board with us yet. This is a freebie.
Yeah.
I ain't making it up. That's the best store I've ever been in.
Crazy good.
If you're looking for meats and sides, boy, they have everything you could dream of. I did the pre-marinated fajitas yesterday, the beef. And when I tell you it was about 2 pounds, so I had it for lunch and dinner, there's not any left. I just hammered all of it yesterday. Hey, make sure you're following Crown Global Media. Okay?
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Follow that on YouTube. Support Brian, support Vach, support all your favorite content creators. And then have yourself a great day. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Everybody out there, do good today. or whatever. Do something. Don't do bad. No felonies today. All right. Keep it together out there. Remember, you have no idea what anyone's going through. Be cool to everybody. We love you.